Previously on Alan Wake, I'm hunted by the law.
Sheriff, Wake's running. I'm giving chase.
Are you seriously telling me that writer just took out my deputies?
A thriller I supposedly wrote is coming true. The genre of the story seems to be shifting. It's turning into a horror story. I was told that Alice had been kidnapped, but that was a lie.
We don't have his wife. We don't know where she is.
Her purported kidnapper was eaten up by the dark presence before it attacked me.
Alan, shh, baby. It was just a nightmare.
Alice.
There you go, Alan.
Hartman. I fell.
I had to give you a sedative. Don't fight it. You went through another rough period.
What?
Right now, it's very important that you stay calm. We don't want you to have another episode. You're a patient at my clinic. Have been for a while now. The shock of your wife's death triggered a mental illness.
No, you're lying.
You're suffering from various symptoms of undifferentiated schizophrenia.
Bastard.
It's okay, Alan. Just let go.
I felt groggy. Whatever Hartman had bumped in me was making me numb. I felt like this was happening to someone else. Someone I was watching on television. I couldn't think. Couldn't focus.
Alan, a situação tá difícil pra você, amigão. Salve, salve, galerinha aqui do YouTube. E aí, como vocês estão? Vocês estão bem? Bom, eu espero que estejam bem. Eu tô bem também, tô aqui pra trazer pra vocês a continuação de Alan Wake remasterizado. Só lembrando, se você quiser saber o que aconteceram nos vídeos anteriores, é só você clicar aí no primeiro link da descrição. Ou se você preferir, assista esse vídeo até o final. E lá no final vai ter um card grandão. E tanto o card quanto o link na descrição vão te levar direto para a playlist do Alan Wake. E é isso. Sem mais enrolação, bora pro vídeo. Depois do...
There were only empty sheets of paper here. No manuscript pages.
Depois de tudo que aconteceu, opa, tá vindo alguém. Tô ouvindo passos. Será que essa é a verdade? Ele tá com esquizofrenia?
Good evening, Alan. Are we feeling better now? Feeling calm?
Yeah. I see you brought your pet gorilla with you. So sure, I'm calm. I get the message.
Ele
Loud
trouxe
and clear.
segurança.
Why, right. That's the spirit. You're being very brave, Alan. I understand you're confused. I would be more concerned if you weren't suspicious of me. I don't blame you for it.
Big of you.
Now, why don't you come with me? We'll reacquaint you with my clinic and go over everything you might have forgotten. Little walk and some fresh air? Yes, it will do you good.
Beleza, siga o Dr. Hartman.
This corridor is for patients. Most of them aren't here right now. Jack took them out for a fishing trip, except for the ones who are particularly vulnerable, of course. I encourage creativity as a part of the recovery process here at Cauldron Lake Lodge. I specialize in treating artists.
I bet you do.
Splendid, Alan. I honestly believe we can get this thing under control if we work together. This way, Alan.
Tô te seguindo, amigão. Eu só quero saber o que tá acontecendo.
Now, Alan, from past experience with you, I know I need to get right into the heart of the matter as quickly as I can after an episode. So I'm just going to say this. Alice is dead.
No.
You're in a very vulnerable state until you understand and accept this.
Será que ela morreu, mano?
Alice drowned, and you couldn't face that. You're suffering from hallucinations, paranoid delusions, unusual thinking, an obsession about light and darkness, a feeling that everything revolves around you, your thoughts and dreams. Your mind has constructed an elaborate fantasy scenario in which your writings are affecting reality. She has been kidnapped and supernatural forces of darkness are trying to stop you.
Ele sabe de tudo
You go
isso,
this
mano.
way, Alan.
I wasn't ready for another shot, so I went along with it. He had to be lying. But under the influence of the drug he had given me, I had to fight not to believe his words.
It's all in your head. You've been making it up. Apart from the tragic accident with your wife, no one has been killed. Your delusions are just a manifestation of your subconscious mind trying to protect you from the too painful truth. Unless we fight the fantasy, it will return. I know the instinct is to resist me, but think about it. Doesn't this make far more sense than the insane supernatural conspiracy you have concocted in your mind? You're a skeptic by nature, Alan. We both know this. Everything can be explained logically.
Eu não sei se podemos acreditar nesse cara. Ele é aquele doutor que a Alice trouxe a gente pra ver antes de tudo acontecer. E o Alan ficou bravo com ela. Foi por causa dele que eles brigaram. Eu parei pra pensar nisso há um tempinho.
Never get tired of this view. Very inspiring, isn't it?
Cauldron Lake spread below us. I could see Mirror Peak on the other side of the lake. I thought I could make out the spot where Diver's Isle had been when I arrived with Alice. Now there was nothing but waves.
Vai chover.
It seems there's a storm coming. Funny, I don't recall there being a mention of that in the weather forecast. Well, no matter. This way. Follow me.
Tudo bem. Tô te seguindo,
Alan,
amigo.
what I'm telling you is good news. Right now we're in control. Every time you have a relapse, it gets more and more difficult to resurface from the dark depths of your imagination. Not surprising, considering your profession. Imagination is what you work with. After all your nightmares, this should come as an immense relief to you. If it doesn't, why is that? Because I'm lying? Or because you don't want to admit that you're not well? It's very natural for you to think of me as your enemy. It's part of the illness.
I let him talk. Hartman obviously loved his own voice. His words echoed madly inside my head. I dug my nails into the palms of my hands to stay
You need
focused.
to work with me. Once you accept that, we can begin the journey towards your recovery.
Seus punhos ainda estão abertos, amigo. Você tá mentindo.
Come along. Let's go inside.
Ih, olha o cara aqui. Parece o Bolsonaro.
Here's the entrance to the office wing. That's for staff only. You were impressed by my trophies when you first arrived here. I do love to hunt. The great outdoors, man versus nature. It's wonderful stuff.
Isso é um bosta.
Pretty damn wonderful, yeah.
Tem uns doidos aqui.
Scary, scary, scary.
Cara louco, mano. Deixa esse doido aí,
I'm a
velho.
real bad dream, mister. You should be afraid of me. Don't want to run into me in the night, that's for sure.
Please, Emerson. Mr. Wake is confused enough as it is.
Yeah, you'd like me to go away so you won't be scared. But you can't just decide what kind of dream you have or when you have it.
É, mas ele tá com a cabeça machucada de verdade.
Okay, sorry. Boo.
That's Emerson. We're actually making some progress with him, I'm happy to say. He works on
Elbow
video
strike.
games.
Ooh, yeah.
It's trash, of course, but it does involve
get him
some
to the head.
small creative effort, which makes him receptive to my therapeutic
Ele trabalha
methods.
com videogame.
No kidding.
Será que eu vou ficar assim? Ei, a outra. Ela trabalha com música, né?
You might have noticed the typewriter in your room. You've been writing as a part of the therapy.
Ué,
As soon as you feel up to it, you should continue.
opa, deixa eu ler aqui, doutor. Bem-vindos à pousada Cauldron Lake. Estamos aqui para oferecer o tratamento especializado de que você precisa. No entanto, lembre-se, peça que amigos e familiares marquem um horário de visita para não interfiram na sua terapia e ou períodos de criatividade. Respeite a privacidade e o espaço pessoal dos outros pacientes, principalmente quando estiverem engajados em seus processos criativos. Seja paciente, normalmente nossos pacientes têm problemas criativos duradouros que não serão resolvidos da noite para o dia. Permita-se levar o tempo de que precisar. Lembre-se que seu tratamento é voluntário e elaborado especificamente para você. A terapia de engajamento e o método associado, o fluxo, funcionam melhor quando você está ativamente engajado no processo de moldagem deles. Em caso de dúvida, não hesite em expressá-la. Tudo bem? Cadê ele? Diga.
My rheumatism's killing me. There's a storm
É aqueles velhos, não é?
Oh, what a storm.
Que pediu pra me tocar a música.
Wipes this place off the face of the earth.
Caramba.
And these two are the Anderson brothers.
Esse é o Thor.
And Tor. They had a, how should I put this? A heavy metal band in the 70s and 80s called Old Gods of Asgard. They even adopted new first names to complete the image of Viking gods. After the band broke up, they lived on a farm nearby. They are, well, in advanced stages of dementia. They're well cared for, TLC and all that. There's nothing more that can be done.
Caramba,
I'm
velho.
afraid that the rock and roll lifestyle has left its mark.
Ele fala de um jeito que parece que o videogame, o rock,
I'm so sorry
interfere na
to
sua
cut this
cabeça.
short for now, Alan. The power has been acting up. I'd better go check on it. We'll continue this soon. Meanwhile, when you feel up to it, return to your room and try to write. It really is for the best. Don't you think?
Eu não acho.
I'd like to bash his head in with a hammer.
Oh, he'd love to fish out our secrets, but he has no clue. He's not crazy enough. Not crazy like us, Sonny.
Yeah!
Being crazy's a requirement, Sonny. Who else could understand the world when it's like this? It takes crazy to know crazy.
That's the sanest thing I've heard in a while.
Zane! You're all right, Tom. Hey, we like him, don't we, bro? He's got to go to the farm.
The Anderson farm.
Valhalla.
Ella!
We wrote it all down, lest we'd forget. A crash course. All you need to know to get your head right. You need to find the message.
Here, Sonny, here's something for you. Gave me a rash, but I kept it safe from these bastards.
O que é? É um
My head was clearing
manuscrito?
up, or according to Hartman, I was sinking back into the fantasy. I was convinced he was lying to me about everything. Crazy or not, the Andersons made more sense.
Tom, you got any booze on you?
Que goró, mano.
No.
We
Sorry,
have a
guys.
stash of the special stuff at the farm. Our own formula, local ingredients, medicine, clears your head right up. Makes you remember like moonbeams.
Beleza,
on the
mano.
brain.
Oh, I just noticed. Leather patches on the elbows? That's not very rock and roll.
As costuras de couro.
Lost is all. Baba Yaga got to him too, the damn witch.
As coisas que eles estão falando faz muito sentido. O que eles me deram foi um manuscrito, os escritos e assistente de Thomas Zane.
Zane could feel the poems, taking form, shaping things. As he experimented, he imagined he could almost feel the power surging through the keys of the typewriter. It exhilarated him. But there was fear, too. If not for his young assistant Emil, he would have given it up. But Emil convinced him otherwise. He too had a way with words.
Por mais que as coisas que a gente passou são estranhas, parece que faz mais sentido essas coisas estranhas do que o que esse doutor falou. Mas beleza, vamos voltar pro nosso quarto. Eu tava tentando entrar nas portas pra ver se não tinha manuscrito. Aqueles doidos até falaram, doidos não, aqueles senhores falaram até da velha lá.
Wake, why don't you humor Dr. Hartman and give the writing a shot, huh? Typewriter's in your room. You can get to your room by those stairs, Wake.
Cala a boca, Bolsonaro, vai se ferrar. Nem sabia que ele sabe falar português, ainda mais inglês. Opa!
I'm not myself. It's hard to think that there's a shadow inside my head. I can only focus on writing. Everything else is a blur. I'm trapped in this cabin. Have been for days, but it's always dark outside. My editor is real. I saw her again. She's not human. It's not human. A dark presence is wearing the old woman's face. She was covered in clinging shadows. There's a hole in her chest where her heart should be. I think I've made a horrible mistake. I don't think I'm any closer to saving Alice. It's been lying to me, using me to get the story it wants, and the story will come true.
Será que esse Alan da TV tá naquele quarto que a gente é obrigado a escrever? Olha só, um QR Code. Fazia tempo que eu não achava, desde o primeiro vídeo, mano. Mas tudo bem, eu vi que tem um gerador ali, velho.
Hartman had mentioned that the power had been acting up. Maybe that was the reason for the generator and the work light on the balcony. The generator hadn't been activated, and there was no key.
Tá bom.
Hartman wanted me to write. I knew I couldn't, but I figured I should just play along for now. It was the only thing I could do with Nurse Birch watching me like a hawk.
Emerson, será que meu quarto tem meu nome? Wake, tem, quarto número 1. Ah não, as janelas aqui são diferentes. Bom, voltamos.
The white glare of the blank page in front of me hurt my eyes. My hands began to shake uncontrollably.
Everybody calm down. Put that down. Bert, I need help.
Hey, Wake, you stay here. I'm gonna go see what's up. You just keep doing what you're doing. Be cool, okay?
É agora que nós vai fugir, né? Tá de noite.
I didn't know what the chaos was all about, but it could be my only chance of getting out of here.
São os velhinhos, velho. Aquela parte do manuscrito que diz que eles conseguiram um martelo. Bateram na enfermeira, eu acho.
Sinclair,
não diz?
That wasn't a love tap. The crazy old fart hit her hard. If she was one of Hartman's goons, she had it coming. I could get the key to the office room from Sinclair.
Tá bom, vamos pegar a chave.
I had to get to Hartman's office. He had taken all my manuscript pages. That's where he'd been keeping them.
A gente tem que ir no escritório, consultório do Hartman. Mas não é por aqui, né? Será? Página do manuscrito? Olha só! Barry na pousada.
Hartman kept talking, giving Barry the grand tour, clearly proud of the place. He went on and on about his hunting trophies, and Barry was impressed. But he was here on business. He raised his voice, cut through the monologue. Hey, Hartman, where's Al? Hartman stopped in mid-sentence, annoyed at the interruption. He nodded at the hulking orderly standing nearby. The man smiled and clapped a practiced hand on Barry's shoulder.
Ixi, não vai ficar nada da hora essa situação, hein? Vai dar briga. Aquela parte do manuscrito se cumpriu mesmo, os velhos deu uma martelada na cabeça da mulher. Onde será que eles arrumou o martelo, velho? Deve ser por aqui o consultório. Oh, não é? É aqui, ó, nessa porta. Apareceu destrancar, mas eu não vi. Porta do meio, do lado das escadas. Tá. Examinar esse quadro.
The photo on the wall caught my attention. In it, the clinic staff was standing outside the lodge.
O sequestrador.
I knew the man next to Hartman. He was the kidnapper. Hartman had been playing me all along.
Mano, será que essa é a terapia dele, velho? Olha, mais uma página de manuscrito. Mott fracassa com Hartman.
Hartman wasn't happy. Mott could see it in his eyes. He quickly lowered his own. He had made a mess of it, and he knew it. The shame of failure was hard to bear. He hadn't expected Wake to say he needed more time. And he blurted out 2 days, less than Wake had asked for to show him who was in charge. But that wasn't part of Hartman's plan.
Então Mott é mesmo o sequestrador. O nome dele é Mott. Pelo menos até agora é o que eu entendi, né?
The markings on the tape said they were recordings Hartman had made of the sessions with his patients. I saw Alice's name on one of them. For a moment, I couldn't breathe right.
Vamos ouvir a fita.
Now, Mrs. Wake, can you tell me about Alan's problems?
He's more and more out of control all the time. The parties, he's so angry all the time. He's getting violent.
Do you mean with you?
No, not with me. No, never. Sometimes I almost wish Alan would take a swing at me, because at least that'd lead to a conversation he couldn't just march out of. But no.
Nossa.
Alan doesn't really sleep. And the work, well, he's not writing at all. He sits there for hours and just gets more and more frustrated. And I can't
só queria ajudar ele.
Yes. Tell me, Mrs. Wake, what would you say to him if he'd listen?
I don't know. I want to say, I look at you, and it's not you. Just some stranger who resembles you.
É a mesma coisa que ela falou naquela ligação.
And I don't like that guy much. And now it's all gonna go to hell.
But you don't ever say this.
No, No. I've tried, but he's not listening. He's too deep in his own problems, always going on about something else. I'm so afraid I'm gonna lose him, and we're not even talking anymore. He doesn't let me in anymore. He just keeps me in the dark. I'm so alone here, even when he's home.
As mesma coisa.
Please help me, Doctor, because I'm at my wit's end.
Well, if you can just get him here, I'll absolutely do my very best.
Yeah, but Doctor, you need to be careful with him. He's not just going
Olha
to
lá,
listen to
ouvir e
you cooperate.
cooperar.
He's the most
O
stubborn
homem mais
man
teimoso
I've
que eu já
ever met.
conheci.
Well, I'll be sure to bear that in mind.
Hearing her voice, what she was saying made me happy and sick and guilty all at once. Worst of all, I recognized the words. The phone call from her. It had been a
Exatamente.
cut-up of this. Just a recording.
Tá, vamos pro consultório dele. Tentar, pelo menos.
Let me out of here! Hartman, do you hear me? I'm gonna sue your crazy
Será que é o
black
Barry?
ass threat.
Ah, o Barry tá aqui mesmo.
Ow! About time!
Que isso?
Barry, man, am I glad to see you. We need to get to Hartman's office.
It's right next door.
Tô destrancando.
Yeah.
Ah, ele nem terminou de falar, desculpa. Os manuscritos.
These were all the pages I had on me. And more.
Moiou.
Alan, please. You're sliding back into the...
Tell me one more lie and I'll shoot you
Ele
in the
achou uma
face.
arma.
Ah, well, it was worth a shot. Really, Wake, come on. Let's work together on this. You have no idea...
Hartman, shut up! Barry, get out of here. I'll catch up with you. Get a car.
Oh, Al, let's just...
Go!
Wake, listen to me. This is a mistake. Don't you see? Together we can create something absolutely wonderful. With your ability and mine.
What the hell? Ele sorriu. É aquele manuscrito. Vamos ver os manuscritos que a gente encontrou. Hartman vê a queda de Wake.
Hartman followed the fall of Alan Wake with his binoculars. When the rider hit the water, he ordered Jack to take the boat to him. The spot was easy to see in the dark, even with all the extra lights in the boat. The flare floated and kept burning even in the water. Jack turned the radio louder as the engine sputtered. The music was rough and clanking, something the Anderson brothers would no doubt have enjoyed. But Hartman chose to ignore it. Wake was finally within his reach.
Foi bizarro, doido. Escape da clínica. Ah! Tá trancada de novo. Oxi! Tem, ó, as coisas voando. Ixi! Ixi! Ah, já sei o que eu tenho que fazer. Subir lá em cima e ativar o gerador. Isso se as coisas deixar, né? Não ficar me atingindo. Bora lá. Tá aqui o gerador. Vamos, vamos, vamos. Dessa vez não vai ter nada pra me atrapalhar, eu acho. Ih! Esse é mais difícil. É menor o bagulho. Que da hora os bagulho tudo. Vai, vamos descer agora, Alan. Agora vai dar certo, meu nobre. Só tem que conseguir chegar vivo até lá, né? Vamos, 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 vamos. Cheguei. What the fuck, mano? Que isso, velho? Meu Deus, mano. Sinalizador. Todas as coisas que eu peguei. Ai, moiou. Não adiantaram de nada, mano. Por onde eu saio? Isso daqui não é uma porta? Será que se eu jogar o sinalizador aqui? Não. Tem mais um sinalizador aqui. Não tinha, hein? Juro que não tinha. Ah, moleque, é só tirar esses ursos do meu caminho. E o caminho continua por aqui. Ixi. Abriu pra mim? Não abriu? Aquele bagulho vai abrir a porta, né, velho? O problema é eu passar por ele, mano. Fica aí, amigão. Será que eu vou conseguir sair? Não, não vou. Será que eu tenho que atrair a bola pra cá? Vem cá, bola. Ai! Nossa, não é assim tão rápido. Vem cá, eu tô aqui, amiga. Agora vem aqui. Nossa, não, era só a porta, tio. Você é louco. Agora passa aí.
I'm here.
O Barry veio salvar nós. Valeu, Barry.
I found the car, but the gate's locked. You're gonna have to go through the hedge maze over there.
Passar por o quê, menino?
Barry, I don't have a light.
Take this, Al.
Então me dá a lanterna aí.
Oh God! Look at the house, Al.
Ai, meu Deus. Pelo menos um portão foi. O que eu mais quero é sair daqui, ô Barry. Você acha que eu gosto de estar aqui? Atravesse o jardim. Meu Deus, isso não parece ser nada fácil. Ah, é aqui o jardim. Calma, Barry. Você ficar gritando vai me dar mais medo ainda. Vai ser pior. Ih, olha os amigos do Hartman. É, droga. É por ali. Morra. Nossa, mas é muitos caminhos, velho. Ah, também não é por aqui. Mas já tem... Já tem um doido aqui. Esse é chato. Mas já tá morto já. Ah, um manuscrito. Um manuscrito. Wake vê o palco dos Old Gods.
Paraphernalia that littered the area surrounding an unlikely centerpiece. A full-side stage complete with an impressive sound system with all the trimmings, including a dragon. It took a special kind of crazy to build something like this in a remote field. When the sky split open with a deafening boom and the music started blasting, it felt strangely appropriate.
É a música daqueles senhores. Vamos lá. Eu só tenho meu revólverzinho. Caramba, velho. Eu sempre vou pelos caminhos. Sempre vou pelos caminhos sem saída, doido. Ah! Mais mineiros? Não quero saber de mais mineiros. Eu não tô quase saindo, né? Eu tô andando em círculos, eu tenho certeza. Página de manuscrito. Mais um.
Hurried down the corridor. He had disliked leaving Wake when he was surely at his most susceptible to therapy. But this was not an ordinary storm. Wake had been writing, and he had woken something up in the depths of the lake. Now, it was coming for him. Hartman had naturally prepared for a situation like this. The idiot brothers would keep Wake distracted while Hartman double-checked everything, just to be sure.
Tudo bem. Eu só quero saber quando é que a gente vai sair desse labirinto aqui. Quem é também que constrói um fucking jardim, velho? Um fucking labirinto no jardim? Isso é louco, mano. Finalmente. Bom, galera, eu vou aproveitar que a gente chegou aqui num ponto de controle. Eu tô ouvindo alguém falar, mas ele não pode fazer nada com nós porque a gente tá aqui na luz. Eu vou encerrar o vídeo por aqui. Eu agradeço a todos. Até o próximo vídeo e falou!